morning, everyone. It's great to see you all here. Thank you for coming. First of all, let me introduce myself and my good friend. My name is Mufli Syahjehan, and my friends Judo Ramadhan, Zuhdi, Muyassar Arsyan, Okta Tri Kurniawan, and Oktaviandono. The purpose of today's presentation is to discuss about Indonesia's immigration policy during the COVID-19 pandemic. Firstly, we will discuss how the coronavirus affects the world and Indonesia. Next, we will discuss about Indonesian immigration policy during the coronavirus pandemic. And finally, I would like to finish off by talking about efforts to prevent the coronavirus in the community. I'll be very happy to invite you to ask questions at the end of the session, and I'm sure there will be plenty of time for us to discuss some of the points that has been raised.
Our first point is about how the coronavirus affects the world and Indonesia. COVID-19, apart from becoming the greatest threat to global public health of this century, is being considered as an indicator of inequity and deficiency of social advancement, as is implied in the name COVID-19. CO stands for corona, VI for virus, and D for disease, and 19 represents the year of its occurrence. The outbreak of the new coronavirus infection, COVID-19, was initiated from the Yunnan seafood market in Wuhan City of China in December 2019, and within a couple of months, it has turned out the global health emergency. Live animals like bat, frog, snake, bird, marmot, and rabbit are frequently sold at the Yunnan seafood market. Although the intermediate source of origin and transfer to human is not clearly known, the rapid human-to-human spreading capability of the virus has been established. As per the latest update of WHO on 18 April 2020, the outbreak of COVID-19 has spread in more than 200 countries.
As you can see in this chart, approximately 146,198 people had died after contracting the respiratory virus out of nearly 2,164,111 confirmed cases, whereas more than 402,989 people have recovered from the disease. These numbers are changing rapidly. In Indonesia itself, the coronavirus has spread very quickly. Now, if you would turn your attention to this chart, it is recorded as of August 19, 2020, as many as 144,945 cases have been confirmed in Indonesia, with 6,346 deaths and 98,657 records this far.
With this explanation, the Indonesian government has taken numerous measures to respond to the COVID-19 pandemic. This section contains a consolidated list of the measures that has or will come into effect in the very near future. One of the policy issues was that policy carried out by the Immigration Directorate General has updated a number of regulations regarding foreigners who have been granted emergency stay permits by the Indonesian government because of travel restriction amid of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. The procedure for immigration permit extension are now contained in Director General of Immigration Circular Letter. Kitas holders who have been granted an emergency stay permit may now extend their kitas or apply for kitab. According to the updated regulation, because of this explanation, foreigner must extend expired stay permit in addition every foreigner who holds an expired limited stay permit or permanent stay permit and or re-entry permit and are overseas should return to Indonesia to extend their stay permit at the local immigration office no later than 60 days. Failure to fulfill this requirement will result in having to apply for a new visa before entering Indonesia. The above also applies to foreigners who have obtained an approval letter from the relevant ministry or institution, and in the context of family reunification, in practice in relation to expatriate employees, a valid work permit may serve as an approval letter.
And now we are moving on in slide 11 and 12, and that is extension of valid immigration permit. Holder of a visit stay permit, or we call izin tinggal kunjungan or ITK, ITAS or ITAP, that is still valid and who are in Indonesia may apply to extend their stay permit at the local immigration office using the normal procedure under the applicable laws and regulation. And then status of emergency stay permit holders. For ITK holders, holders of an expired ITK who have been granted an ITKT can apply to extend their stay permit as long as the pandemic has not been officially declared ended by a valid authority and there are no means of transportation to leave Indonesia. Such extension must be done no later than 30 days as of 10 July 2020. ITAP holders of an expired ITAS or ITAP who have been granted an ITKT may apply to extend their stay permit at the local immigration office. Holders on an ITAS or ITAP that can no longer be extended or has reached its maximum period in accordance with applicable laws and regulation must leave Indonesia no later than 30 days as of 10 July 2020. For visa on arrival, or we call visa kunjungan saat kedatangan or VKSK holders of VKSK who have been granted an ITKT can extend their stay permit as long as the pandemic has not been declared ended by the relevant authority and there are no means of transportation to leave Indonesia. Such extension must be done no later than 30 days as of 10 July 2020. Furthermore, BVK holders who have been granted an ITKT must leave Indonesia no later than 30 days as of 10 July 2020. And the last four ITK and ITAS holders who have telex visa and work permit, holders of ITK and ITIS or ITAS who already have a telex visa and are currently in Indonesia may apply for issues of their ITK and ITIS or we call ITAS at the local immigration of without leaving Indonesia and without applying to an Indonesia embassy overseas. Please note that the extension of the emergency stay permit will be granted to those who are eligible. It will be free of charge and will stay valid until the state of the emergency is lifted by the National Disaster Emergency Agency (RBNPB).
Okay, furthermore, every foreign national in Indonesia is strongly advised to follow the rules and regulations set by the government. The first, wash your hands frequently with soap and water for 12 seconds until they are clean. The second, avoid touching your face, nose, or mouth when your hands are dirty or unwashed. The third, avoid direct contact with or near people who are sick. The fourth, avoid touching with animals or birds. The next, clean and sterilize frequently used surfaces. The next, Cover your nose and mouth when sneezing or coughing with a tissue. Then throw away the tissue and wash your hands thoroughly. The next, don't leave the house sick. The next, wear masks and immediately seek treatment at a health facility when you experience symptoms of respiratory disease. In addition, you can also strengthen your immune system by taking vitamins and supplements as form of prevention from the virus.
That brings us to the end of our presentation. So in conclusion, this coronavirus outbreak has spread throughout the world, including Indonesia. Because the coronavirus outbreak has caused Indonesian immigration to make policies for foreign citizens who are in Indonesia, which is where foreign citizens get emergency stay permit and can be extended as long as the pandemic has not been declared ended by the relevant authority and there are no means of transportation to leave Indonesia. During their stay in Indonesia, foreign nationals are required to follow the health protocol from the Indonesian government. Before I close our presentation, I have some quotes from the Proclamator of Indonesia, Insinyur Soekarno. Reach your ambition as high as the skies. Dream it as high as the skies. Because if you fall, you are going to fall among the stars. That's all from our presentation. Thank you very much for your attention. And if you have any question, I'll be happy to answer them now.